I'm gonna talk about a tour story when we were coming back from New York. And it was actually in Long Island. So we were doing a couple runs. We hit Massachusetts, Rhode Island, but then we're getting closer back to home, which is in Long Island. And it was this independent showcase from this dope, fun white hip hop kid group, like, well, not kids like it's children, but like there's like early 20s and whatnot. These cats called Third Degree. It was at some rinky-dink spot in Long Island, and the funniest thing about this was, I remember after me and my boys like finished performing, these two white girls, they saw us. It was like, "Yo, you guys are dope." It was so amazing, and I was like, "That's what's up. Thank you. Like, I really do appreciate it." And I really meant it. I was just tired from being on stage. And then she was like, "No, like, really awesome." And I was like, "Yeah, thanks." She was like, "I was just telling my homegirl tonight, we're loving the crew." I said, "All right, that's what's up." So then I was like, so then I turned, and then I just started, the music is playing, so then I just started dancing. And I go next to my homie, and I was like, "All right, don't make no facial expression. Them two white girls over there?" And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "They loving the crew tonight." He said, "What?" I said, "Fix your face." And he said, and then he was like, so then he was like, all right. And then as we were going through the night, the one who was speaking to me, she had left her friend. Like, she was on the phone just arguing, and she just dipped off and swerved off on her friend. And the other girl, like, she was just sitting there like all sad and powdered, and then like where she lived, because was like really far driving. I mean, walking wise. So driving, it was pretty quick. So then we were like, all right, we've been here for a little long, so let's just go back to Brooklyn. But we felt bad for Shorty, so we was like, "Yo, we'll just drop you off home." And then she was like, "You guys really do that?" I was like, "Yeah, we not assholes. Like, we care about people's like getting home. Like, it's just messed up that your homegirl dipped on you." So then we're driving her home, and then we get to the front of her house, and then like I guess she was just like lit from drinking all night, and she was like, "I'm really mad," and it's like, "All right, that's sad." Like, she was like, "Could you just take me over to where she's at right now? She's at her boyfriend's house, and I just really need to give her a piece of my mind." And it was like, "How far is that?" And it was like 5 minutes. She was like, "Yo, if we take you over there, I don't care what happens, you're getting left. We have to go back to Brooklyn. So are you sure you want to go over there? Because we at your house right now." She was like, "Yeah, please." So then we go over there, drop off, and then she leaves her bag in the car, and she runs to her homegirl, and is like, "Yo, your bag, take your bag out the car." And her homegirl comes downstairs, and then they was arguing, and then they both come back to the car, and then they're both sitting in the car, and then it's like, "All right, how did we get here? We trying to go home. It's late." And it's like, "Now you guys want to party?" It's like, "Yeah, being horny young men, there we are." It's like, "All right, what y'all got in mind?" So, I'm a changed man. Dr. Umar, forgive me. So then, so it was a total of me on my two homies, and there was the two girls. So then we go to 7-Eleven, and so then my homie, like, the girls went to go get like some beers or something, and I was chopping it up with my boy. And he was like, "Yo, y'all got condoms?" I was like, "Nah." I was like, "I just came to rap tonight. I didn't think I was gonna get cheeks, bro." So I was like, "Yeah." So then what happens is he was like, "All right, I'm gonna go get some real quick." And I was like, "All right, lit." So then as soon as he goes, the girls came out, the thing, and he was talking to her, and she was like, "Oh, where you going?" He was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna get something from the store." She was like, "I'll go get it for you." Nah, I just gotta go get it. Like, so he was trying to play it cool and coy and whatnot. And then she was like, "What you need?" And then he was like, "Just something from the store." And I just leaned. I said, "He trying to get condoms." Like, she was like, so then the wild thing, she was like, "Oh, don't worry about that." She took her backpack off, and she had mad condoms in there. And then this was mad wild. So then I was like, "Yo." So then it was like, "All right, cool." So now we trying to figure out what we gonna do the deed at. So then somehow we turn into like this weird alley. We're sitting there, and then, dang, excuse my French, I'm a way nicer person, and I care more now. This is like 10 plus years ago. So I just want people to understand. the next words just put like a parental advisory if there wasn't already one before. So then my boy, and you know what's so hilarious about him? He was always like that one dude and be like, yo, you gotta get these bitches and pull them to the side and So I was like, where that energy at? You always talk like that. And then we sitting in the car and he was like, so, I was like, what the fuck is happening, bro? And he was like, so what's the plan? And I was like, this is weird. I was like, we gonna lose out right now because you wildin'. So I said, all right, yo, who's sucking dick first? So like, and then as soon as I say that, then the one who's we had dropped off first initially, she was laughing. She was like, oh, ha, ha, ha. And I was like, nah. And so then I just, you know what I mean? So then, and then she proceeded to do stuff, and then stuff was happening for my other homie in the back, and then it was so hilarious. My other homie who was in the front, he was in the driver's seat. He had his hat and he just put it down. And then the other girl said, I feel so bad. Does your other friend not want pussy? And then he said, nah, I'm good. And then like he was like, I just want my friends to have fun. So then I was like, he a good brother. So then this is where the story gets funnier, or this is where we hit the climax, figuratively and literally. So I had the girl in a certain position, and then again, parental advisory. I'm a whole better human being. I was young. I was dumb. So I was, showing my awesome powers, and then I finished, but I didn't realize that I finished because I was just so in the zone. And then the girl goes, she was like, did you come? And I was like, nah, I don't think so. She was like, something's dripping on my leg. You can't. And then I looked, and then like, because they had like those weird ass lifestyle condoms are not made for certain black men, if you understand what I'm saying, right? So that shit popped. And then I was like, oh, damn, that's crazy. She was like, oh my God, I can't have a black baby. Yo, I heard that shit. And it was such a weird thing, bro, because like, I was like, yo, that's mad fucked up to say, but it's mad funny, yo, just to hear that in the moment. And then I was like, yeah, so what's up? How we figuring this out? She was like, oh, wait, I got plan B at home. Don't worry. So she just like got herself collected, and she said, wow, she's been telling me to, have sex with black men for a long time. This was my first. And I was like, how was it? She was like, it's awesome. I'm going to try more, you guys. We dropped her back off home. And I stayed tuned and texted her, so I made sure I didn't have any illegitimate kids. So, I realized it was good. I never heard from them ever again. That is a wild tour story right there. I'm a better person. And I made a song called Black Power and Groovy White Girls. So like when people hear that song, they be like, yo, what inspired that? And it's that. That's the actual story. And the crazy thing, the girl just came from a boyfriend and she was just whopping my mans off. So that also made me, I guess, have commitment anxiety. It probably damaged me a little subconsciously. Because I was like, I just saw this happen. And she was like, she was whopping the homie. She wanted to get cracked by that black. Yo, it's Frank Knight, again, also known as Frank Listen. And you are checking out 24/7 HH.